Elsewhere on Capitol Hill, lawmakers still have a lot of work to do to avoid a government shutdown, which could start on Sunday. House Republicans debated amendments this week to a fiscal 2024 spending bill that would cut funding for USDA and the FDA. However, the bill is not expected to pass in the Senate. Congressman Eric Sorensen represents Illinois' 17th district. As the clock begins to run out on funding the government, we asked him what a possible resolution looks like.
I mean, we have to look at this point forward. A continuing resolution has to have the same funding that we had in fiscal year 2023. We can't make cuts in a continuing resolution. And I'm all for finding the waste that we have in government to lower our deficit. And those are great ideologies to have. But we have to understand the CR process allows us to get to a point to allow the appropriators to work such that we can get that budget for calendar year 2024.
So let's talk about some provisions. Why won't Democrats agree to include border security provisions in a stopgap spending bill? The polls have made it pretty clear that voters are very concerned about border security as an issue.
I introduced amendments that would have added border patrol. For quite the same reason as our frustration when we go to a grocery store and there's only one checkout that's open, and then we see that there's 16 lanes that are not being used. That's what we have here at the southern border today. We need to make sure that we're processing the potential legal immigration into our country. Instead, there is just this traffic jam of frustrated people. We have an immigration system that isn't working right now. Too many people here among us in Congress are playing a dangerous game of politics today. We need border security. There's no question about it. We need to keep the government open. And I think that these are apples and oranges today. And by the way, if we shut down the government, we're literally defunding border security. And so we're making the problem worse.
So with all of the craziness that's going on Capitol Hill, where does this leave the Farm Bill debate if the government does shut down?
A shutdown that we're looking at will immediately affect and stress farm families. I mean, especially those that require, off-farm income through loans to keep their farms. We're dealing with a drought scenario right now. There's already a stress on our farmers today. And so right now, the partisan bickering that's going on in Washington is adding to the stress of our family farmers.
We'll be right back with more from Representative Sorensen right after this. Welcome back. Before coming to Congress, Representative Sorensen was a TV meteorologist. Using his background, he says there are many ways the conversation around climate can be infused into the Farm Bill discussion.
For 20 years, I spent my career in the same congressional district that I now serve. And so I was one of the first meteorologists to talk about climate change on local television. Why did I do it? I wasn't trying to make a political point because I was not a political person. I was talking about it because it was already having real life impacts on the people in my community. And I never once said that anybody was doing anything wrong or vilifying anyone. Instead, here are the facts. And whether it is a political issue to you, then it's political to you, but it's not political to me. And I don't think that the solutions and finding the best answers for the next generation should be political either. What we need to make sure that we are doing, and this is good not only for the sustainability of our family farms, but for our kids and our grandkids, is we need to make good decisions. And we shouldn't let our politics cloud what's going on. We know things are changing. And if we continue to play politics with something that is science-based, it's not going to solve the problem. And so I'm willing to work across the aisle to make sense of it, because I'm one of the unique members of Congress that got here without the political baggage. And so it doesn't matter who I work with to find the solutions.
So one of your Illinois counterparts argued this week that farmers don't want Congress to put more money into climate research hubs and climate adaptation efforts. From your experience, boots on the ground, how concerned do you think farmers are about climate change?
I talk with farmers almost on a daily basis. We must have different farmers that we're talking to. I'm talking to family farmers. I'm talking with producers. I'm talking with folks in precision ag and in crop science. We have an understanding that things are changing. And I think we have to today separate the people that are really angry. I don't know about you, but I don't make good decisions when I'm angry. Okay. I make good decisions when I'm calm, I'm level-headed, and I put the people around the table and we listen to one another. That's how we make good decisions. And that's who I'm surrounding myself with, all of the people in Northwestern and Central Illinois, to help make good decisions. I mean, one of those good decisions, I believe, is the development of biofuels for sustainable aviation fuel. Farmers are going to be the solution to the problem, okay? And I think that makes good sense, not only when you're talking about a farm, but it makes good sense here on Capitol Hill too.
So the Inflation Reduction Act has already put $20 billion into conservation and climate smart programs. But, what more does the Farm Bill need to do to address this issue?
Yeah, I mean, look, we have to make sure that the Farm Bill lasts 5 years, right? It can't just be what we're going to need today. It has to be how we look at the demands going forward for 5 years. One of the things that I hear about every day from farmers, and one of the things that I'm championing in the Farm Bill, is to be able to make sure that we have more robust crop insurance. Look, I mean, we're having more extreme weather events than we've ever had before. And so this is way beyond any argument over any climate change that's going on. We're going to have different problems going forward when we look out 5 years. So crop insurance is going to be key.
Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, no, it was great. Good to be with you.